We are live. Estamos en vivo, as the Hispanics will say. This is still Hispanic Heritage Month, and we are still the All Sports Matters podcast. I was gonna say radio group. It's not Sunday morning. The podcast. So I gotta differentiate. But what I do not have to differentiate is my brothers who are with me every step of the way. Gentlemen, join me on stage.
Yo, happy anniversary, brother.
Yeah.
Also, Flex, shut your ass up.
Sir, no need for the violence.
So aggressive.
That's what's happening.
So what?
That's what's happening.
So I've been on the road all day to get here. No social media, and I wasn't really reading the text. But I want to wish my brother and his beautiful fiance a happy anniversary on today.
What
So,
can it
I'm
be?
here. Huh?
Why can it be wish Chachi and her beautiful fiance? Me.
Because Chachi ain't on here.
Because
You ain't beautiful.
yeah, exactly.
And you
Let's
ain't
go
that
with that.
good. There you
That's
go.
the politically correct answer. Let's go with that one.
We sticking with what we went with, and that's the bottom line. Be
But,
happy.
Happy
We love
anniversary to you and my sis Chachi.
That's
Make it happen.
exactly it. Bingo.
I was trying to
Love
figure
y'all.
out. I was
Happy
trying to
birthday.
figure out what the odds in Vegas was. Did it have the over or under of 2?
Oh, you
on-
stuck.
They had it over.
Over.
You're stuck, sir.
I think it was under 500, but over,
Makes
everything
sense.
else.
Makes sense. Jimmy came on, speaking that violence, firing upon that
Right?
violence
Jeez.
this afternoon, and it felt like the Colorado State game, right? Where it was violence left and right in that game. And I wasn't going to start there, but it's led me to start there for a change. That hit on Travis Hunter, man, I don't know how egregious any hit in the NFL can be. Obviously, we don't condone it. We don't like it. Yes, Deion took the high road, but I'm not.
Nope.
He should
Yeah,
be.
that was dirty.
No, it was very dirty. He lacerated that young man's liver.
There was nothing okay about that.
Nothing
I mean,
at all.
it was like a full 3 seconds after the ball hit the ground. You know what I mean? Like he was headhunting. There was nothing. There was no reason he should even touch Hunter on that play.
That entire game, they was playing dirty though.
They
That
really
entire
were.
game, it's no way 14 out of 17 of their flags was personal fouls. There's no way that should happen. And fines should have been coming down, but they didn't.
Yeah, I feel like Colorado State's coach. I mean,
Yep.
he set the tone for that to happen. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like he took a shot at Deion, tried to
What up,
shade,
Q?
and yeah. I don't know that one.
And-
I hated it.
And I like how he tried to take a shot at Deion, but in every press conference, he's still up in there with a visor on.
Yeah, I didn't understand the shot though, because I'm like, sorry, everybody sees
It's a rivalry.
you've done in the last few years has been with headgear on,
All right.
and I'm like in shades, and you
It's
had
a rivalry.
shades on. So what are we talking about? Like, it was unnecessary.
It was very unnecessary. And I believe, and obviously this is my own opinion, the kid should at least sit out as many games as Travis has to sit out. Like that should be some type of rule. If you cause injury to somebody that drew a flag, you should be able to,
He should have been ejected. He shouldn't
should have
even.
been
He
ejected
shouldn't
right
even
there.
been able to finish that game.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
should not have been able to finish that game.
They'll call targeting for
They
it.
kicked number 8 out for a hit that was, it was borderline dirty.
Yeah,
They
but it was more
kicked
vicious.
him out for it. But number 11, Blackburn, I think was his name. They let him
Blackburn.
I'm gonna just call him number 11.
penalty.
it's equivalent to Trent Williams not being ejected and throwing a punch, and they couldn't find the punch. But all of America saw the punch last night.
What the?
Like
First,
I don't understand. Don't
Wait.
let dumb.
wait. Don't. First of all, sir, we're talking about college. Don't try to
No,
bring the
we're talking
49ers
about
in there
violence on the
because
football
they
field.
beat up on the Giants. Don't do that.
You're talking about violence on the football field.
Don't do that. And your man was being violent first. And Trent Williams just retaliated. He was all at Banks's neck, and Trent Williams came over there and let him know this ain't the smoke that you want, sir, and put him in his place.
So how smart is it to throw a punch close fist to a helmet?
I mean, it ain't smart at all. It ain't smart. I ain't never say he was a genius, but he the silverback. You don't want none.
That's the
According to the refs and the corporate office, they could not find video of a closed fist.
Amazon.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about. That was
Did y'all
that
read
was
about
just
that last night?
that was the dumbest thing
Amazon was
ever.
rewinding the punch as many times as it took yesterday.
I was like, this is when they
Amazon
said
went
that
out
they
their
couldn't
way.
find evidence of a punch. I was like, for real? Oh, all right, well,
They would have been better off just saying no comment.
I mean,
Yeah, like we missed that one. Something.
Right. They would have
what?
been better off saying no comment. They said
And I,
they
you know what?
couldn't
And I
find
guarantee
video
you,
evidence.
I guarantee you, come Monday they're gonna find Trent Williams regardless. I guarantee you, come Monday they will.
He got it.
Stupid to me. It's dumb. If you didn't see it,
I mean, the way his bank account's set up, I'm
Right.
fairly certain he can pay the fine. So
yeah.
no, that's not the point. What I'm saying is the NFL didn't see it. Then why fine them?
I mean, it was a whole lot of stuff that they saw last night that wasn't a part of anything, and it was a bunch of stuff that they didn't see on both sides of the ball. Those referees last night was terrible.
They were terrible. It was.
You know, literally last night I noticed something last night that Trent Williams is one of the biggest humans I have ever known.
He is freaking huge.
That man is huge.
Because he smacked. That was Ashawn Robinson. He smacked.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Ashawn Robinson is
He's not a tiny
man.
Yeah, he's not a little dude.
And he made him look like a child. I was like, dude, this is ridiculous. Like Trent Williams, man, they need to test him, son. There's something ain't right.
Well,
And Q, you said you couldn't find the contact on the punt that looked muffed. They were coming down and he was kind of blocked into him, so he did hit him. I saw the play,
Yeah,
and
they
they
pushed him into him.
I think they switched it so they don't call where they
I know
where
that
you block into them no more.
you know, I didn't want to talk about last night's game. At least not first, anyway. I did want to focus on the Colorado State game, even though that wasn't what I was trying to get to. But let's talk about the game itself. Should Deion be worried come Oregon this weekend? Reason being, they gave up 36 to Colorado State, something like that, and Colorado State is not a 36-point team. And I get it. It's a rivalry game. Everything's out the window. I get it. It's a rivalry.
I think he should be more concerned about the fact that Hunter's not going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a huge loss for that team.
That's a gap. You can't
That-
feel.
It is a huge loss for him. And I think I was explaining this to somebody yesterday. It may not be as big of a loss because everything up till now they planned and prepared around Hunter. Now that Hunter's not there, they can plan for other people to be involved. Like you saw, they tight end got super involved after Hunter got hurt and became basically the hero of the game with Shedeur. So
Offensively, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
But he's a big part of that defense. He shut down half of that field.
Right.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. You just lost somebody who could literally shut down half of the side of a field.
And
that's hard to replace.
It is. It's very hard to replace.
On the defensive side than they are on the offensive side.
Yeah.
It's very hard to replace, but you still got Deion, who's one of the best cornerbacks to play the game. So if he can't get somebody mind together and right to do nothing, then.
So I want to address.
I agree with that, but the question. Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. I just want to address a couple of comments before we actually get carried along. First, I appreciate for everybody joining us. We do appreciate it. I think that was my sister that said make a share. Go on my page and you can share from there. Is it going to be a shootout? The Oregon game, Colorado? Yeah, I think that's going to be a shootout as well.
Amir, real quick, breaking news. Acuna just joined the 40-40 club.
Don't you
He
do
just
that?
took it from us. I was waiting.
I did it.
Waiting to put it in there too.
I did it.
Freaking Dodger fan.
Hey, I did it for y'all, man.
Anyway, so Oregon.
Was the 46
That's it. For the 60s.
first ever.
First.
Ever.
He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it.
No. You guys want to veer off to that conversation? Let's have that conversation. I can steal a base today in Major League Baseball. I just want to throw that out there, and I'm slow as hell. I'm just throwing it out there. It's easy to steal a base.
Let me do it. Let me see you do it.
It sounds like Justin.
He said, "Let me see you do it."
You can hit him with that.
But okay. Get back to the Colorado.
Go ahead, Colorado.
I'm sorry.
My bad.
Jim did that though.
What?
Jim's fault.
I hate the Braves, and I hate their fans.
Look, Oregon, Colorado, prediction time. Who you got?
It's gonna be a shootout. It's definitely gonna be a shootout. It's hard to pick against Dion,
Right.
but I think I have to. I think Oregon gets them, and Travis Hunter is gonna be a big reason why. You know, they're missing him on that defensive side. I think Oregon wins. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be high scoring. I think Oregon wins something like 42, 49, 42. It's going to be a shootout.
Bo Nix, right? Is the Oregon quarterback?
Bo
Yep.
Nix.
Bo Nix. Auburn.
Not Auburn Bo Nix.
Auburn old.
Not Auburn Bo Nix. Because that boy
Not
left
no more.
Auburn and learned how to play ball.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
What's the system? It's what's his face? Not Jim Kelly. What's the coach?
It's not Chip Kelly.
Chip
Uh,
Kelly.
No, he been gone.
It's the DC from Georgia. I can't remember his name. Fanning? No.
I can't think. of it.
Statistician. That's your job.
If only.
You know, we're going to stay on college since we open up that door to Pandora, as they say, and we don't mean
Dan Lanning.
Lanning.
we don't mean the music this weekend. We actually got a slew of good games this Saturday. Last Saturday we did not. We had a complete mismatch of teams that only Alabama ended struggling in. But
It's going to be a lot of good college games. Yeah, I
Bama
agree.
so sorry.
I'm gonna go through some of the games, and we'll get there here in a second. We're still gonna say Florida State Clemson is a game to watch. Oklahoma plays Cincinnati. Cincinnati is their debut in the Big 12. That's why it's important to mention that. UCLA, Utah, Ole Miss, and Alabama. LSU got Arkansas. Arkansas is 2-1. That's another reason why we're gonna bring that up. They're not rambling. Let's see. But the game of the week, Ohio State and Notre Dame. And I'm not saying that just as a Notre Dame fan, but that has to be the game of the week. Two top 10 teams playing against each other. Ohio State starts slow for some reason, and then they get Marvin Harrison going. Notre Dame quarterback Hartman from Wake Forest actually is putting up Heisman numbers. Big Rob, talk to me. You're a college expertise. What are you looking forward to this weekend?
You named it. Between that game with Notre Dame and Ohio State, because I really want to see what Ohio State is going to put out on the field. Are they going to start slow? And if they do, how is it going to set them back? Because Notre Dame is the team you want to start slow with this year. Notre Dame is a very even team with a good leader on the offensive side that is, like you said, his numbers have been insane this year. So, and they believe in him. They believe in him. He's a great leader, and I think he's going to be a monster in that game. But I also want to see what LSU looks like against Arkansas. It should be. It's already going to be one of those games where they don't like each other. So when they get on the field, they're going to give their complete all against one another. But I think Arkansas has a point to prove because they don't want to fall behind 2 losses in the SEC already. They're going to try to fight their way through that. And LSU is definitely not trying to drop a game, especially not this early, especially not to a divisional rival. So I think those two are going to be top tier games. I'm not looking forward to that Clemson game because I think Florida State gonna rip their shirt off and run around the field with it. So, yeah, and I hate Auburn. So,
Jim, I'm coming to you. I'm going to throw in there as well. I didn't mention Iowa against Penn State. Penn State is looking great so far.
That's the whiteout game, right? It's gonna be whiteout, right?
Yeah.
Iowa is 3-0 themselves. So we're gonna keep that in mind. Both teams are 3-0. Jim, talk to us about what you're looking forward to in college football weekend.
Honestly, I'm not really looking forward to anything in college football on college football Saturday. I really have a whole lot of stuff happening tomorrow, so I'm not really gonna be paying attention too much to college football. Honestly, I don't care. That's what y'all will get today.
We see you. That's your new anthem right there.
Are you okay?
Nope.
He need a hug.
Nope.
What's
I'm
wrong?
only here so I don't get fined.
You need a
Well, you're
hug.
about to get fined anyway.
I don't care. What you gonna do?
You need a hug.
I'm not understanding the
Aggressive.
lack of excitement.
Man.
We are biased media journalists.
I'm gonna get Q on here next week to replace me for the week.
Unofficial, obviously. But you know what? Before we can talk about tomorrow, let's take one step back and talk about last week. Fleck, your Florida Gators beat the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yes, they did.
We're going to give you
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
talk to us. What are you expecting to come out of that come this weekend? I think they're off this weekend, right?
We got Charlotte. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we got Charlotte.
We got Charlotte.
The only Charlotte I like is Cha-Cha. So, no, they should win that game easily, and that probably means that we'll probably lose. But we're ranked again. I don't know if we're one of the top 25 teams in the country. Like, seriously?
No,
Because
you're
we still got a lot of-
25th. You're exactly 25th.
Right. That's why I said I don't know if we're one of the top 25 teams in the country, like for real, because we still got a lot of unknowns. Our running game is on point. Mertz, he's in and out. I don't know.
That
We
got
should win
Etienne's
it.
brother, right?
Huh?
Etienne's brother run for y'all?
Etienne?
Etienne, yeah, right?
Yeah. Him and Montrell Johnson, that's a two-headed monster at running back. You got Thunder and Lightning for real. They should win this weekend. They should.
Well, real quick before we move on from NCAA, going back to the Florida State Clemson game, Florida State took a step back last week, right? They struggled in their victory last week. What are we expecting? Well, they more than struggled against Boston College, 31-29. What are we expecting tomorrow against Clemson? Are we expecting a Clemson victory? Are we expecting Clemson to get back on track, beating Florida State?
No.
Clemson has not looked good at quarterback. Like that quarterback has been shaky. So I don't know. Like I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't think they beat Florida State this weekend.
Nah. And I never can say the former quarterback's name, Ukulele. I can never say his name, but yeah, he's literally showing that it wasn't his fault. Most of the season last year, when everybody was putting the blame on him, it's something systematically wrong with their offense, and it's not clicking like it used to. And it's starting to look like if you don't have a top tier quarterback to run your offense there, it's not going to work. And so I don't see them beating Florida State. I could be wrong, but I don't see it happening.
DJ whatever is gone from.
He left. He left.
Oregon,
Right.
Oregon
He's
State.
Oregon State, right?
He's been one of the more, Oregon State.
Yeah, he left, but the reason why he left, he got benched last year.
He wasn't good.
But was it because
What
he
Rob
wasn't
is
good?
looking at is he's saying that
Was
looking at it now,
Right.
was it his fault?
Was it really his fault? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the quarterback they got right now looks atrocious. So is it the quarterback or is it the scheme they running now?
We're going to stay right there. We're going right back to you, Rob. You said quarterback like a horrible. We got a three-headed monster in Alabama. Talk to me about your quarterback situation out in Tuscaloosa.
Well, last week, Lord have mercy. I know I had a drinking problem last week because Lord, that game. So I don't think I've ever drank that much liquor in one sitting straight out the bottle with no cup. That Jesus Christ, that game took years off my life. Because I really didn't understand. I was like, I get it. We're trying to figure out what we have on offense, but this ain't the time right now. This ain't the time to figure it out. But apparently he saw what he needed to see, which is Buckner, whatever his name is from Notre Dame. He's trash right now. And Ty Simpson is not ready. He's just not ready. So the best option at quarterback is Jalen Milroe. And at a point, everybody needs to do better because last week what it showed, the offensive line is atrocious right now. they have played atrocious because they were getting mauled by South Florida. They were getting manhandled by South Florida.
So why wouldn't Saban go back to Milroe in that game?
He didn't even want. So he had promised to play those guys in that game, and the reason being because he wanted to see how they fared on the road in a hostile environment. But it was worse than I even thought it would be because they looked terrible. And I mean, Buckner looked the worst of all of them. He looked horrible. And he looked terrified from the jump. And I did not understand why he got to stay in as long as he did stay. And Milroe didn't even play in that game at all. He didn't touch the field. And I'm pretty sure it was because he didn't need Milroe in that game, but he really almost did need Milroe because if Ty Simpson wouldn't have played as well as he did at the end, we would have lost.
So take bias out of it. Do you think Alabama drops 2 at home for the first time since 2007 against Ole Miss?
It's possible. I can't even front. It's possible, especially an Ole Miss team like that. They're hungry. They already don't like us because they've lost to us 7 times in a row already. So they're going to have a point to prove. It's a good possibility. I'm praying not. I'm hoping the come to Jesus meeting they had Sunday will galvanize that team and get everybody on the right sheet of music and start understanding that you need to do your job and be where you are supposed to be at and be accountable in those positions. And you can't leave people out there. Stop trying to jump routes and get these big plays. That's not it right now. You need to focus on what you need to do to be good at what you're supposed to be good.
Let's tell it what it is, though. That game was more of they could mix and match, try to trick plays, try a new quarterback, try to punt their quarterback. They knew they would beat South Florida. They knew that. So they didn't.
We almost didn't know that. We almost didn't know that.
It took them a while, but the defense wasn't allowing South Florida to get going on the flip side. If South Florida would have started scoring, that would have been a little bit different.
I'm going to say this. Tommy Reese, you can have him back. Whenever you need him, you just call him and say you want him to come back. We'll gladly give him back to you. Because, sir, let me tell you something. That guy sucks.
So getting back to the comments, we want to include our fans. There's actually a question to you, Mr. Rob Chef. Do you buy into the theory that Milroe was secretly suspended from playing in that game?
No. Because one thing about Nick Saban, if he has a problem with him, and if he was suspended, he'll get in the press conference and let you know, like, look, he had a team issue and we handled it internally. Bottom line, but I don't think it was that. It was honestly, I think it was more of the proof of point.
What was the point?
That
he can win with anybody.
That those two are not ready to be the starters like everybody is hollering about. They're not. They weren't ready. I'm like, do you honestly think if Coach Saban thought they were ready, he wouldn't have wheeled them out during that Texas game? He knew if they'd have got on that field in that Texas game, so we'd have been pulling the ambulance up right afterwards.
So is there a game you guys see that upset City? Is there a game that
I think if anybody can pull off an upset, I think it could be Colorado at Oregon.
Colorado has a good chance.
I don't know if Colorado will win this game. Like I said, I got Oregon winning, but I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado won.
I'm with you on that one, Fleck, because I was about to say, my thinking right now, people do not take Deion, do not take any shorts on Deion and that team. They are hungry, and they want to prove a point. I will not be surprised if they go into Eugene, Oregon, and steal a win.
Clemson.
In the last of the Pac-2, they play against each other this weekend too, and they're both ranked. Oregon State and Washington State, 14 and 21, I think.
Wazoo. That's true. That's right.
Jim, any game you see not going the way you think it'll go?
Notre Dame over Auburn?
What?
Yeah,
What happened?
That can't be Notre Dame.
Auburn plays Texas A&M.
Yeah, that's.
No, I think he was saying somebody over Ole Miss, Notre Dame, and Auburn. It was not saying them going over each other. It was one team
Gotcha.
going over all three of them.
Got you. Okay, I read it now.
Now, I would say with no disrespect, usually I have no issues disrespecting anybody when it comes to Alabama, but in Mississippi State, I'm telling you right now, that's not an upset. That is not an upset.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
That's almost two equal teams, and Alabama's still
At
struggling.
this point, right now, yeah.
No, I did not pick Colorado as an upset. I said I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado won.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado won either. I hate to pick against Deion, but I think Oregon pulls it out, and if they do win, it'll be by like 2 or 3. It's gonna be last possession wins type thing. Whoever has the ball last in that game is gonna win that game.
These next 2 weeks are gonna tell us what we need to know about that Colorado team.
Yep.
Because they got Oregon this week, and then they got USC next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be that USC game gonna be a for real problem.
I'm sure their offense will get going, but I do have some issues with that defense. That needs to be addressed in Colorado. So we'll see how that goes. Monday night we had a big injury. We're going to pivot here to NFL. One was huge. One was usual. Saquon Barkley. That's what you're talking about, right, Saquon?
No, they had an injury in both Monday night games.
Well, I was talking about obviously talking about Chubb. Was the other one?
Yeah, you talking about Chubb. The other one was in the Saints. The Saints. What you call it? Saints Panthers game. Shaq Lawson. Shaq Thompson. He broke his leg and had to have emergency surgery.
Yeah, it doesn't. We don't wish anybody injury. Obviously, that doesn't move the needle much when it comes to Carolina. But Nick Chubb being gone for Cleveland, though,
that's huge.
A huge deal, and it happened early. Pittsburgh obviously showed up to play defense. How does that change the course of action of the AFC North? Injuries has dictated that division so far, right? Like we know, the
Ravens team hurt.
Steelers still don't know what Steelers are going to get yet.
Joe
Burrow and his leg, he may not even play come Monday. I'm pretty sure he'll be out there, but he's going to be limited.
Right.
And obviously we got Nick Chubb now. Talk to me about that AFC North.
I think, and no way am I saying one is equal to the other, but I think Cleveland is going to be what we thought they were because they brought back Kareem Hunt. You know what I'm saying? He's been there the last 4 years. He knows the system. And I'm not saying Kareem Hunt is Nick Chubb. I'm not saying that.
Right.
I am not saying that before I start getting jumped on in the comment section about it. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that he knows that system. So Cleveland is going to be what they were going to be. Whether that's a good team or a bad team, I don't know yet. They're a mixed bag for me right now. I still think I think with Joe Burrow struggling, I had Cincinnati winning that division. But with Joe Burrow struggling, injury, performance, whatever. As much as the Ravens have been hurt, none of their it hasn't hurt any of their key pieces, I would say. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I think now it's Baltimore's division to lose.
Yeah.
Because Kenny Pickett, he's not showing that he's franchise quarterback material right now. Cleveland has their issues. Cincinnati, we don't know the state of Burrow. So I think it's Baltimore's division to lose now.
They're still dealing with their own injuries as well. They got Carousel, a running back.
Half their team hurt.
Half a team hurt. Yeah.
I told y'all Odell was going down.
Because Marlon is hurt.
Odell is out this Sunday.
But are they gonna go? Or are they gonna miss Odell? No,
not with
Zay.
Zay.
Doing anything before he was
right.
What they gonna miss him being a decoy?
Hold on, now you just hit it right on the nose, JP.
But you still got Bateman. Bateman is doing his job though. Bateman is doing a good job of being a deep threat and being a decoy as well. So
right, but you still need those three. You need OBJ on the other side to be a decoy.
Need him to win out the division.
I don't know. I mean, Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you fine. But no, what all I was gonna say is, but for this week, and hopefully only this week or maybe next week, we should be fine. As long as we can get Odell back when we need him for the deep run, we'll be fine. Zay Flowers
Yeah, y'all should definitely be good this week because Indy is missing A. Richardson. He's out this weekend.
Right.
You know, Jonathan Taylor obviously
Taylor.
hasn't played at all.
Right.
So should be.
fine.
I mean, it's the Gardner Minshew show.
I mean, as long as Mark Andrews there to catch some passes like he always is.
And I mean, and that's the thing. Lamar is playing great ball right now. He's playing really good ball. He's being really, he's really taking advantage of this new offensive scheme, and we should be fine. Gus Edwards looks good, so we got a nice, decent running game. Justice Hill is going to be out this week. We ended up bringing Kenyon Drake back, which I ain't even going to get into that. So, but you know, we should be fine.
So Gus Edwards is decent, so I can go ahead and put him in the game.
So maybe Lamar.
I would.
Lamar has a bigger role in the running game.
I hope not. I really hope not. I really hope not. I hope they utilize Zay, get Aguilar the ball some more, and make Rashad Bateman earn their check.
What's going on, Marcus Betts? Well, it's not what's wrong with
nothing wrong with
it. They still got Melvin Gordon too.
And that's we got Gordon too, but you know, it's
couldn't do
the same explosion with Drake and Melvin Gordon that we would have if Dobbins played and stayed healthy, and then we have Edwards coming right behind him. So it's not anything wrong with Drake. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's a huge loss that we need to
go revive his
Wait a
career.
minute.
There's no career to revive at this point.
Hey, look, we got a couple of running backs over there we can send y'all now over in the Bay.
We have some significant
I'd
injuries.
gladly take one.
No, you don't want to take them from San Francisco. They come hurt.
That's true too.
2 of the 3
Y'all have
quarterbacks
injuries.
taken early are out this Sunday. Anthony Richardson due to concussion, and Bryce Young because of an ankle.
We've already talked about A. Richardson. I'm sorry, Amir, I didn't mean to cut you off. But me in our chat, we talked about it. If somebody don't teach that young man how to slide and stop playing around, Sarge, this is not the SEC. This is not college football. You will get murdered out here if you don't get your tail on that ground and learn to slide. There are animals walking around here. You got Fred Warner walking around here that's willing to kill you at the drop of a hat.
That boy crazy.
Queen, who would knock your head clean off your shoulders. Roquan Smith will try to kill you. You got safeties out here that will take your skull off.
I will leave it
Trevor
up to
Lawrence
you.
told him after that first game that he needs to learn how to slide.
He better
Trevor
listen.
Lawrence came up to him after the game and told him that
He
needs
better
to learn how to
listen.
slide.
I will say you got a career like RG3, who was promising and didn't know how to slide, and then he went downhill from there.
And straight down here. You already
I'm not going to compare him to RG3 because he has a little more weight to him than RG3 had.
And I
I'm
get
not
it.
saying that he could take too many more of those hits, but RG3 was kind of fragile anyway. Like,
Well, he
RG3 was
was,
trying to make a comeback.
Hard field.
I'm saying that his rookie year, he took his team to the playoffs. So we can't.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he wasn't good. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like he didn't have the body type to absorb those hits anyway.
RG3 called the Jets to make a comeback after Aaron Rodgers went down.
Hang up the phone.
So we gotta, yeah, exactly. So we but that does leave. I want to give some kudos. I want to give the
We were
flowers.
talking about Young. We were talking about Anthony Richardson.
Again,
He did bring Young up.
My bad.
what I am going to say is, I said all that to say that the other rookie, C.J. Stroud, is actually out there putting in work, and that's where I wanted to go. Even though the record doesn't signify what he is actually doing, and neither is Kirk Cousins' record in Minnesota, but C.J. Stroud is actually putting in work over there in Houston. 300 plus passing yards, multiple games and touchdowns. He just no defense. And that's what we thought DeMeco Ryans was going to instill. Obviously, still need talent. I get that. Still need talent out in Houston. Minnesota got, and I'm saying all that to give C.J. Stroud his flowers, move on, Kirk Cousins is 0-2, and he's going to play another 0-2 team that none of us thought would go 0-2, and Justin Herbert and the Chargers this weekend. How do you see that game playing out? Who's going to go 0-3?
Man, the Chargers screwed me last week. I'm a Titans fan, love my Titans. But I picked the Chargers in the survival pool, and they go out and stink up the place, man. So I hope they lose every game for the rest of the year.
So you out. That's what you saying, you out. They're not playing in prime time, are they?
No.
Okay, well, yeah.
So, remember last week when we were giving our picks, and you said that we usually pick the same picks, and you didn't want to do it. I'm like, you should have went with your boy. You should have went with me. I said it.
And on top of that, you called it and then said, "I'm picking against my team and watch they lose."
I did.
And then you said you wouldn't be upset if the Titans pulled it out. You said that.
Upset.
He hung tough.
You sound real scorned.
I'm not upset, but screw the Chargers.
Now I'm gonna say this.
No, I can't say that because I got Justin Herbert as my fantasy quarterback, so I can't say that either.
And somebody put it in the notes already. Somebody might want to go ahead and start getting their resume together on Indeed, because I'm telling you right now, if the Chargers do not make the playoff, he is fired. Their head coach is fired.
One of us can go over there and coach that team better than they're doing right now.
That's Staley, right?
Yeah, that's Staley.
Yeah, it's the defense.
The defensive issue.
So do you fire the head coach or do you fire the D coordinator?
They both might be in the road. They might both be out of
there. I was just singling it down to what I thought the issue was.
I think both of them are out of there.
The issues on both sides of the ball, as far as the Vikings defense as well. We know we're discussing that game, and Minnesota's defense hasn't been that well either. But for some reason, the Chargers can't win a close one to save their lives
at all.
No, that's true.
I think the Chargers win this one. I think
they playing that 12
because that Minnesota run game. You know, they obviously just traded for Akers, but their running game has been abysmal.
Well, Akers won't be playing this Sunday.
He's not playing Sunday.
And neither is Austin Eckler. So I just want to throw that out there as well.
Right, but so I think the Chargers can still put up points without Eckler. They have put up points without Eckler.
Both teams have.
I'm about to say, because
but I don't know that running game, man.
Mister, you like that? He always figures a way to score points. He's gonna score them in the road.
And it's in Minnesota. Yeah, I think the Chargers win this.
They playing at 12 noon. It's not prime time. It's not close to prime time. I think Kirk Cousins gets his first victory.
I'm going with Cousins this week, and I think Cousins gonna put up gaudy numbers this week. I think he's going to get real grown with it.
You just need Justin Jefferson to go off.
I really do. I want him to go
I do
nuts.
too.
I need him to go nuts.
Go all the way crazy.
I too am going Cousins in Minnesota. Reason being, for some reason, Herbert doesn't play that well without Eckler.
I don't understand why not.
For some reason, he doesn't play as well when Eckler is out.
It's the same thing with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley.
But he still put up numbers, though. Like, Herbert still put up numbers.
Yeah, he got the wide receivers for it. But
yeah, he got ungodly. He got
who's out there, right?
He literally has an unreal assortment of wide receivers.
He has
huge. That's the other part. His wide receivers are huge.
But he has to play off the run game, though.
That's been their issue. They just can't stay healthy.
They can't stay
healthy. Keenan Allen, you're waiting on them to get hurt.
Yeah.
It's a matter of we don't wish that ill will on anybody. Right. But every year, like I draft Keenan Allen, and every year he seems to get hurt.
Yep. He have to play off the run game. The same thing with Jones. That if they start running back not there, then they don't have that run game to play off of. So they have to have the ball in their hands, and they shrink in a moment.
So another game to look out for is the 2-0 New Orleans Saints. Are they celebrating out there in Louisiana, Jim?
They always celebrating.
What's the culture like?
They always celebrating. They won the first game and they was Super Bowl bound. These people retarded down here.
They played Green Bay. They played a good Green Bay team, but
in Green Bay
is good but not great team. They do just enough. 150 passing yards. Jordan Love against Atlanta's defense. We gotta give kudos to Atlanta's defense. Atlanta's
I'm
defense
about
is
to
showing
say
up.
that Atlanta pass
Yeah.
defense
We gotta
is
give
good.
kudos to Atlanta's defense, but the Saints defense is just right there as well.
Right.
But 150 yards passing for Jordan Love is not going to be enough
No.
to win ball games.
God no. It's
He
not gonna
needs
be
to get
enough.
some of his, but he's also missing.
Yeah, ain't his running back out too?
Aaron Jones is hurt. Christian
Adam,
Watson.
Aaron Jones is out.
Christian Watson out.
Christian Watson.
Dobbs need to step
Yeah.
up.
So I'm not.
Well, they got a kid by the name of Jaden Reed who's caught touchdown passes in both games so far. Don't look for him a fantasy yacht because I got him on my bench.
He's stupid.
So he's definitely a name to look out for. Christian Watson is expected to play, as is Aaron Jones expected to play this Sunday. What are we expecting in Atlanta, or actually in Green Bay, before Atlanta against Green Bay?
What?
What are we
I thought it
expecting?
was New Orleans against Green Bay.
It is.
It's New Orleans.
You're
It
right.
is. New Orleans, Green Bay. Atlanta's playing Detroit.
Detroit.
It was the shit out of me. I didn't know what.
We'll get to that one here in a
We'll
second.
get to that in a minute.
I thought I had a
We'll get to that
stroke.
one in a second. The Saints' offense does not look good.
Yeah, Derek Carr looked like trash. I sat there. I had a thing this week with some guys at the church. They had a get together and they was watching the game. I had to go and set it up, doing my AV stuff, and they was talking so much trash. Oh, Derek Carr is it? Derek Carr is it? I was like, Derek Carr is not it. They was at the 6-yard line and he could not get a touchdown. I don't understand how you at the 6-yard line and you throwing at your receiver's feet.
It's because they missed the goal line. Jamal Williams.
Okay, and you still
They
you-
didn't
you-
have any running game. I mean, Tony Jones stepped up, right?
right, but he had a wide open receiver all three of those passes and he missed them.
He had like 2 carries, 4 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he was running.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not talking about him.
Okay,
I'm just talking
Tony
about
Jones.
Derek
How
Carr.
about Tony Jones. I'm
Yeah.
not saying he was running everywhere,
He really wasn't.
but that offense was not
running
moving
everywhere.
either.
I said they had him. I didn't say he was running everywhere.
Yeah,
Listen to the content.
he didn't. He definitely did not say that. But yeah, that offense is definitely not clicking. And people say, "Oh, it's because they don't have Alvin Kamara." The Alvin Kamara is not what this offense is missing.
They're missing a running game though. Like you just said that Daniel Jones needs a strong running game behind him. He's missing his running game. I mean, he gets the rookie.
Yeah, don't come
I
back
guess
to
we'll get to
next
see
week, right?
Kendre Miller this week.
Yeah, Kendrick Miller was like lightning in the bottle on in the preseason. So we see what he do.
But Kamara don't come. Somebody put in the comments that Kamara will be back next week. No, he won't. He'll be back in 2 weeks.
No, next week.
No, next week
Well,
he only had a 3
He
game,
only got
Three.
3 games.
3 games.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. My bad. Lord have mercy. I got him sitting on like 8 benches right now. Thank you, God.
John Marshall is annoying most days, but I will give you your flowers as far as your Atlanta Falcons. Their running game has been nice.
I'm not gonna say they have.
Ron is as advertised.
I'm not gonna say they have the running game.
No, well, Tyler Algier, we thought he was going to be an afterthought, and he has not been.
That's the scary part.
Right, that is a scary
Running
part.
game is terrifying.
But I ain't gonna say they have the running game now. Don't do that.
So, I'm gonna put it to you like this: Desmond Ritter's not beating you with his arm. We all
not even close.
agree there.
He is
so
not.
we know as a defense to stack the box, and for some reason, Atlanta is still running. Ritter is not losing them the game. He ain't,
Oh, they-
he ain't winning, but he ain't losing either.
Right. No, and I'm not saying they don't have a good running game. I'm just saying they don't have the running game.
Yes, we know McCaffrey, blah 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 blah.
Don't hate.
I'm not hating. 12 games in a row with a touchdown. That's crazy, right?
Hey, Ty Jerry Rice.
You know. But all right, we mentioned it briefly. Atlanta and Detroit. Does Jared Goff get back on track? Actually, Jared Goff had a good game last
I
week.
was gonna say, Goff had a good game.
Yeah, Goff had a good game. I don't
Finally
think
threw an interception.
Detroit wins though.
He finally threw an interception
Hmm.
after like 380
He did have the longest active streak.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. But I don't think Detroit wins. I think Atlanta takes it
WWE
still.
released Matt Riddle finally.
Good.
So
Just
who
hold out.
wins? How much are we liking Detroit against Atlanta or vice versa? They're playing in Detroit, I believe.
Yeah, they're playing in Detroit. That Atlanta's pass defense has looked good.
It
That
really
being
is.
said, I think Goff gets the best of them this week. So I got Detroit winning 38-24.
Ooh, that
Chef?
much?
I said what I said.
All right then, Chef.
I'm taking a page out of Flex book on that because I do believe that Jared Goff is going to go off this week. I'll give it. I'll
Cooking dinner
say
for family.
Detroit 31-20.
JB?
I already said I got Atlanta winning. I think it'll be like 30-23.
In my head, it's screaming 21-20. Last second field goal by the young Ho.
Young Ho.
Young
Whoa, whoa,
Young
whoa.
Ho.
Young
And
Ho.
I've
Ho,
been,
whoa,
I've
whoa.
been against everything Atlanta lately, but I like that defense. I really do like that defense. I think they slowed down Jared Goff in the passing game. David Montgomery's
It's
going to
big
be
that
out.
they, yeah, I was about to say it's big. that
Montgomery's
they-
going to be out, so we're going to see Gibbs putting in majority of the work. Maybe they're bringing him along slowly, so we'll see
Yeah,
how
I think-
that goes.
I think they're gonna have to accelerate that this weekend. Though.
So who you think
They
have?
were able to bring him along slowly because they had Montgomery.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So I
we'll see how that goes. But
But that passing game, man. I mean, Josh Reynolds has been playing pretty good. You know, Amaron, Laporta. You know, they.
Amon Brown is hurt though. He's dealing with
Yeah, but he's gonna play. He's
I
gonna.
think he's going to be
gonna
all
play.
right.
So we'll see how that goes. A couple of games that's not as intriguing, but it's actually one game that does intrigue me though. Is the Buffalo Bills against the Washington Commanders. I'm actually intrigued by that. I want to see.
How
Commanders have looked ugly and good at the same time. If there's ever been a game or a team that you're like, why are they winning? Is that team? Like you don't know how they got it together because this is how the game's been going. I don't know if y'all actually seen their games. But I'm not knocking McLaren. I'm not knocking Dotson. I'm not knocking. Brian Robinson has gone off so far this year. He's been helping.
he has, yeah.
So
Got him on my fantasy team.
Sam Howell, it's some reason doesn't know how to let go of the ball. He doesn't know how to throw it away. He just takes those sacks like tomorrow is another day. But they are ugly, but they win. So I think Sunday will be the first time playing against the Buffalo Bills. And the not top 7 quarterback Josh Allen. So let's see. I'm meeting y'all halfway.
Who? You mean who halfway?
The public.
He put Josh Allen back in the top 10.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's number
hey,
8. He's number 8 right now.
You ain't meeting me halfway. I had him at number 12.
I did too, and then
I did. I said what I said.
Jared Goff throws an interception, and he goes back up the top 10. So Geno Smith hasn't been looking Geno Smithish.
That's
So,
true.
what are you looking forward to in that game? Can Josh Allen? I'm not going to the numbers. Catch last week's show. I gave you 11 names. So we're moving on. Josh Allen and the Bills against the Washington Commandants. What you got?
In Washington, I got it's kind of hard to pick against the Bills, man. I don't know if Howell is that dude yet. I got Buffalo winning 23-10. That seems like right up.
So one thing before I get to the other two, the one thing that Josh Allen did better was that he found Gabe Davis, which he didn't do week 1, which he didn't do a lot of times last year. For some reason, he keeps forcing in Stephon Diggs, and that costs him a lot. I know they got a lot of flack going on. Stephon wants the ball 24/7. That might be in Josh Allen's head. That might be a problem. He's throwing to other people. But for some reason, when he spreads the ball around, they win. So that's one thing he did last week. Yes, I get it was against the Raiders, but he moved the ball around. It wasn't just Stephon Diggs all day, every day. What's that got for this game, JB?
I think Washington wins. It'll be close, but I do think Washington wins it. I don't think the Bills defense. Not the Bills have a stacked secondary, but I don't think that their defenses go really be able to hold down the receiving core in Washington this week. So I think Washington goes ahead and wins it.
I was already way ahead of you. We'll get there in a second.
Let me ask you. Go ahead, Rob.
No, you good. Go ahead. I can hold up.
No, I was gonna ask a different question about the Bills, but y'all can finish with what Amir was talking about.
I'll make mine quick. McLaurin is possibly not going to play this game because he's hurt. So
He's been hurt.
He's been hurt all year.
Yeah, but they've been talking about it all day today. Said that they're not sure he's going to be able to get on the field this week because they said he hasn't been practicing much and he didn't look good after the game. So I'm going to go with the Bills because
the tight end is also out as well. He's already been ruled out.
With the concussion, Logan.
He's back in.
No,
he got cleared.
No, he got ruled out. The tight end.
Hold on.
You talking about Logan, right?
Go ahead and keep talking. Right?
But yeah.
Logan
with that being said, I got the Buffalo Bills winning that one, and I'll go with
Logan Thomas is out.
24-18.
That was directed to Rob.
Yeah, Logan Thomas is ruled out. He's not playing.
He's out.
Logan Thomas, that guy. Okay, he's never in, so it don't matter.
Oh no, that was Jordan Reed. But same thing.
Yeah, same person. I'm about to say same thing.
McLaurin doesn't have
he was only.
Oh, he doesn't.
He was only out because of that terrible hit that old boy been doing for the last 2 weeks. I don't know why he's still being allowed to not be suspended on a Sunday for targeting people. But the question I had about the Bills though, do y'all think, because if you notice, DeMar Hamlin, and happy that he's back, but you notice he's been inactive this entire year. Do you think they only put him on the team just so he can get the insurance? Because I don't see them actually activating him and having him playing this year.
No,
well, I mean, they already guaranteed his contract. Like, he's going to get paid whatever he's going to get paid regardless. I mean, I know what you're saying about insurance, but they already
right. But don't I was about to say, don't he have to be on the active roster for a certain amount of time before that stuff is activated though?
I guess what I'm getting at is his contract is already guaranteed, so he got the bread.
Right, the contract, but yeah, he got the bread, but he still need
insurance. I know what you mean.
Yeah, he still need that insurance though.
I think they're being cautious with him and taking every precaution they can to make sure that he's fully 100%.
I think they're just terrified to put him out there.
Exactly.
They don't want that kid to, to anything to happen on.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% on that one, Amir.
Fluke or not, the Bills got, like I said, Josh Allen. You got to take him to the promised land, right? He has to move the ball around. Less of Stephon Diggs. And speaking of less of a dig, we're going to move on to the Dallas and Trayvon Diggs. Season-ending injury.
Little brother.
Season-ending injury, the brother of Stephon Diggs. Again, we don't like seeing injuries on anybody. We really don't. We don't. When Dak went down, I believe it was week 4, week 5, with the ankle injury, he was out for the season. I was watching and I cringed myself. It was like, we don't like to see that. Even our mortal enemy, we don't like to see injuries. How does that hurt? It can't help, obviously. I don't think it can help at all. How does that hurt the Cowboys defense, and how did it play the rest of the season, knowing that the defense is what it's at in the Big D, right? Because ain't nobody cared to Dak in that offense. It's been the defense that put those guys out there.
I mean, they had the two corners that they hung their hat on, and now one is gone. Of course, they move in their nickel back to the outside, and they're bringing in the backup to be the nickel back. But I think that it's going to be a huge hole out there. And admit it or not, I know they're worried. It's still a next man up league, but they are worried because, like we all said, nobody on that team is gonna replace Trayvon Diggs. He was feast or famine, and
he was Jameis Winston of defense.
Yeah, Yeah.
Always been there.
Yeah,
That's a
he
good
was
comparison.
high risk, high reward because he went for it, and either he got dusted or he caught an interception. So I made a good defensive play. So they're gonna miss him. I wish he was still out there because I like seeing those guys play, and I like seeing them give their all to the sport that they love. But rest up, young man.
So I read something interesting before I get to you guys, Fleck and Chef. Backup quarterback Ben DiNucci posted saying the Cowboys are the only team in the NFL that he's seen, and he's been around the league, that still plays one-on-one drills, and that's where he got hurt. Is there credibility to that statement? And why are they the only team that still does that?
I don't know why they still do it.
I was about to say, yeah, I don't even know anything about that, so I can't even.
That is how he got hurt. But why?
Yeah, I know that's how he got hurt.
Still do it?
As far as they're the only ones that's doing it, I don't know.
It was a pure coincidence reading that I did before the show started, and that kind of intrigued me. He was like, the Cowboys the only team that does one-on-one drills still.
It's their secondary coach.
But that's what I'm saying. Are they really the only team that does it?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant by saying that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I can't have an opinion. If I don't understand the thought process of having $100 million cornerback doing one-on-one drills like that, but hey, I don't own a team. I don't have $1 million.
Luckily,
the Cowboys, $100 million quarterback.
The Cowboys have Arizona this weekend. And we all agree it's still going to be business as usual, right? The Cowboys will be just fine. They win this weekend against Arizona.
That Arizona team has been feisty, but yeah, I still think the Cowboys win. I mean, they still got 11 on that defense. You know what I'm saying? Number 11 is still on that defense.
I'm still mad at the Giants.
He's going to be a super problem.
He was there.
And
there was a few teams that passed up on him.
Like Flex said though, what's his name? Dobbs. Flex said that Dobbs gonna have them winning games that they shouldn't win. I think this one. I think this one may be one that they can pull off.
He got Hollywood Brown look like a number one receiver again.
Hollywood. He got Baltimore wanting him back
again.
If they can find a receiver over 6 feet tall, because I think all of their receivers are like 5'9" and shorter.
Well, they had to get people that can look eye to eye with Kyler Murray.
Hey, stupid. I also want to throw out there, I know got nothing to do with Arizona, but speaking of receivers need help, Chase Claypool caught a touchdown last week. We can hate all he wants, but he caught one.
Man, look, that boy heard the media getting at him.
They was about to cut him, and nobody wants that kid. He doesn't have a work ethic.
Right.
He has zero work ethic. He got all the skills you want, but if you don't work at it,
he better get it together. But that whole Chicago franchise right now seems dysfunctional. I don't know if that's right. I mean, Justin Fields throwing the coaches under the bus, and then he's not throwing them under the bus. DC
that was hilarious.
Resigning out of nowhere.
That was hilarious.
The DC just resigning out of nowhere. Like that team
we can't talk about legalities right now. That's between him.
Allegedly.
I said he resigned out of nowhere. I don't know why he resigned.
I say anything legal, you got to say allegedly.
So you know what? I'll ask you guys. The Bears traded out of the number one, right, last year because they thought that Fields was their quarterback of the future.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is the worst rated quarterback in the NFL. What are we missing here?
It's not us. It's what he's missing.
Go ahead, Jim. My bad.
I was saying it's not what we missing, is what he's missing. Because I looked at that replay and they had 3 people rushing. Dude was wide open in the end zone, and he just sit and he looked at him. He was looking directly at him, and he just sat there. I'm like, what are you doing? Are you trying to be murdered? I don't understand what's happening. And then you took a sack. We not missing nothing. We see everything that's going on. He not seeing something.
Do you think he needs LASIK a la Jameis Winston?
Not LASIK.
He better do something.
I'm trying to figure out what can we do for the sidelines that can help the man on the field.
Give him one of our brains.
They gave him weapons. They got weapons on that team.
Yeah, give him one of our.
He ain't using them.
Give him one of our brains so he can see what's going on.
At all.
Like they were correct trading out of the number one spot this year, because I mean, who in that draft outside of maybe Richardson who can't doesn't know how to slide. Who has looked good?
CJ
You know,
Stroud has.
He's looked
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, he's looked pretty good. But
I would not have wanted C.J. Stroud to go to that Chicago franchise.
right, not even that. I wouldn't.
Are you okay with Justin
It didn't
Fields?
make sense. Yeah, because okay, hindsight is 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Like we know C.J. Stroud has looked good now.
2020,
But
sir.
if you got a Justin Fields 2020 50-50.
Somebody else needs LASIK.
50-50 is horrible
You know what I mean?
vision.
Somebody else needs LASIK surgery. one of our
Horrible
parents needs
vision.
LASIK surgery.
They need to get a former quarterback up there to mentor him.
Didn't they have McCown last year mentoring him?
Who they had?
Josh McCown, who's
Look,
been in the league like
up there.
80 years. I'm saying he was the quarterback's coach, backup quarterback. He was doing both parts.
Okay.
Well, sometimes that's all you need. Somebody letting you know what to do or what to see.
Josh McCown, though?
Why not?
I mean, Trent Dilfer was the QB whisperer for a long time, and he didn't look good at all.
Yeah, he was whispering, all you need is Ray Lewis.
And the rest of the defense and Shannon Sharp.
They need to do something. They need to do better.
All right, we're going to try to move on. We're going to
Go ahead,
try to
Flip.
close this out. But we do have 2 Monday night games again. We can blame the actors and the writers' strike. Thank you, JB.
Don't blame us. Blame the studio.
Eagles and Buccaneers, Rams and Bengals. On the surface, these are 2 good games. Here's one thing you probably will never, ever hear me say ever again. Baker Mayfield is playing quarterback. Holy crap, like good. Baker Mayfield is playing great. Mike Evans is getting his numbers. That's one thing I said. Everybody was like, Mike Evans won't get his numbers. Mike Evans is going to get his 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I traded away Mike Evans because of Baker Mayfield. So,
But they got the Eagles, who hasn't really impressed either. The Georgia Eagles, Philadelphia Bulldogs have not done what we all thought they would. And they started off slow. Who you got Monday night, Eagles or the Buccaneers? And the game is in Tampa.
Eagles.
Fleck, you can stop watching SmackDown and talk to us.
Eagles. Well, I was talking.
Rams and Bengals.
Eagles.
Hey, the show of Pookie and Tutu is working.
Hey, Puka go get it.
Puka.
He broke rookie records the first 2 weeks. Matthew Stafford is looking like old man Matthew Stafford. Out of Jimmy Matty had been able to talk shit about the Saints.
Yeah, I ain't been able to post my
Welcome to the show, DD.
my meme that I normally post.
Firing on the show, DD. Welcome to the show. Rams and Bengals. Yeah, I get it. The first thing is obviously is Joey B healthy enough to lead the offense? That's everybody's question. We know that. Let's assume he's a little bit better than what he's been. That's all we can assume right now. He's going to be a little bit better. He can't get worse, right? You knock on some wood because he can always get worse. But Rams and Bengals, what you got?
I got the Rams. I mean, that Bengals team is in flux right now. Joey B may not play. Like, you know, that's been the back and forth. So if they're that unsure on whether or not he's going to play, that means he's nowhere near the elite Joey B level that we've come to expect from him. So, yeah, I got the Rams winning, and I don't think it's going to be close because I don't think Burrow plays.
Ooh.
And if he does, he's not going to be, you know, effective Joe Burrow.
Think the Bengals go 0-3?
I said what I said.
I know. I kind of agree. What you got, Chef?
I agree. I don't see them making it out of this game. They don't look right. Their offensive line can't protect anybody right now. Mixon can't run. He can't get to the second level. It just doesn't look good. And Joe Burrow, after I saw him on the sideline having to pull out the massage gun to try to work that kink out he has in his high ankle. I think it's a high ankle sprain, right?
They said it was calf, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, it's his calf. It's calf.
Who, Burrow? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
so there was a video on that I saw today where the Bengals owner rode up on his golf cart to practice, picked up Joe Burrow, did a circle while having a conversation with him, then kicked him back out and let him practice. Did y'all see it?
I did not see it.
I'll find it and send it to y'all. But
yeah,
So
I don't see them winning,
think
man.
I think Burrow's hurting. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless, I think he's hurting.
These Rams look good. They only lost to the 49ers by a touchdown. Yes, it should have been 10 points. They kicked 3 points for Vegas purposes. I call collusion there.
Oh yeah,
It was never a game to call BS. It was that game.
definitely.
You're down 10 with no time to go kick a field goal. That's never been done.
We're not gonna go for a touchdown at all. Okay. Yeah.
So that just led to everybody covering, which is horrible. That was horrible for the NFL. It was a black eye. Vegas is laughing, and us fans were saying we knew it. It was it was a script. I call bullshit on all of it.
He's talking about he didn't know. He didn't know what the spread was. You knew.
He had to know, because I'm like, why would you even go for that? That made 0 sense. Like, then when I heard the spread, I was like, well, there's the answer right there.
Well, we are closing out. One thing that is closing out is the window, and we are shifting a little bit here at the Portland Trailblazers are closing a window to trading Dame Lillard this weekend. This is the last weekend I think that window is going to be open. You guys think that trade is finally going to happen?
I think it's a decent possibility. I know I think it's a 3-team situation right now, because I think the Suns are trying to unload Aiden to the Suns, and then
the Suns are trying to trade Aiden to the Suns.
Not the Suns. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
It's Portland Trailblazers. Sorry. Thank you for that. But yeah, they I think they're trying to get in on that, because everybody knows Aiden been trying to get out of Phoenix for the longest time, even though I really don't know why. He's still gonna play the same way terribly wherever he goes. So, but it is what it is. So it looks like they're gonna try to be a part of it. So yeah, I think it's a good possibility.
Yeah, that last comment, that's my take on it. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, if you're gonna trade him, do it. If you're not, don't do it. Like, don't keep teasing us like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna happen, it's not gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's not. Like, I don't care anymore at this point.
They want it to be done before camp.
I've lost my interest in whether or not he moves or not.
Mm-hmm.
Once he moves, talk to me again. But like, if he gonna move, like, I've lost interest in it.
I did get ahead of myself before we transition out of basketball. Even though one of our panel members has been eliminated, we still got to make survivor picks. So if Fleck wants to watch SmackDown, now is the time. We still got to make survivor picks.
I can't pick them.
I mean, you can pick. You ain't in the running.
I know I don't count toward anything, but I can't pick.
I have no problem with it.
Man, let me change my name.
Fine, Fleck.
You should.
I don't even want to now.
Oh my God! Are you serious right now?
I should have picked the Thursday night game, because that seemed like an easy victory, but it didn't. So,
if I had to pick one right now, it would be Kansas City.
We move past you, sir. JB. JB, who you got?
I mean, I was letting him continue on, because he said I always cut him off. I was just sitting here.
It's Amir this week.
Okay. Rob, you picked my team last week, so I'm going to pick your team this week. I got the Ravens.
You're funny, because I picked the Ravens. That's exactly who I was picking. I was going back and forth. Should I go with them or should I go with Miami? But I don't know which Miami we're going to get this week. And I don't know what Denver's going to show up this week. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with something I can deal with.
So both of y'all going to Ravens? I went, well, not necessarily different. I'm going to Jaguars. I don't believe that the Jaguars have 2 bad weeks in a row. And obviously playing Houston gives them that leg up this week. I'm going to Jaguars this weekend.
I like your pick. And I hope it comes out the way I want it to.
Ain't that a shame? He just so hurt and scorned that Alabama been being trash.
No, I want that money. Damn, what you talking about? I want that money.
I need all that cash flow.
I need all the nickels, dimes, and everything. I want it all.
So, Big Rob, before we sign off, what you got for us?
So the way Michael Parsons has been playing this year so far, It's a good possibility that he's the next defensive player in line to win the MVP. How many NFL defensive players have won the NFL MVP?
2.
2? Okay, we know who one is, right?
Yeah.
Who's one of them?
LT.
Who's the other?
Didn't Ray Lewis win it?
No.
Recent?
No.
Who?
You give Amir?
I'm thinking defensive end. What's
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Reggie White.
Reggie White. Reggie White. That's what I was thinking of.
And I'm too tall Jones.
Nope, wasn't him either. The person's name is Alan Page.
Oh.
Played for Minnesota and played for Chicago in the 70s and 80s, and he won it in 78.
Yeah, you expect us to know that? That was before all of us was born, except for you.
I wasn't even going.
All Sports Matters.
I guess. I was right when I said 2, though.
You were. You were spot on. I was so proud of you.
Gentlemen, going around the room, what you got? Nothing.
College football, man. I'm all those top 25 matchups. College football for me.
Can't wait until tomorrow. See what Alabama's gonna roll out here, and hopefully, I only got a little bit of liquor left, so I ain't gonna drink.
I'm not gonna lie. You guys, you three have gotten me more into college football this year than normal.
Good.
I usually just watch the big games. You know what I'm saying? The top tens and that's it. But
now you're watching North Dakota State and South Dakota State, huh?
I'm at the bar when these random games are on. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, whatever. I watch Appalachian State play whatever. It is what it is. College football has been enjoyable, but I'll say all that to say this: has Deion Sanders put that joy into everybody?
He's definitely made Colorado must-see TV. I'll say that. He's definitely made them must-see TV.
Yeah.
Win or lose, he made them must-see TV.
He definitely did. The economy for the whole state of Colorado.
Do you think there's more
college football period?
There's more room for him to fail than it is to him to succeed?
Say that again?
Is there more people rooting for him to fail? And granted, even if they lose, it's not a failure. We know that.
There's a certain,
a certain unseasoned population
that's asking for that.
So
there's a lot of people who don't like the brashness, the much as he talked, the braggadocio,
I'm gonna end the show the same way we started. So there's a lot more pressure on Oregon to beat Colorado than there is Colorado to beat Oregon.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, Colorado is the higher ranked team, so yeah. Like regardless of whether it's Deion or whoever, they're still a top 10 team. You know what I'm saying? So yes, there's more pressure on them to win. Like Colorado is going to go in there and play, carefree ball because they weren't supposed to be here anyway at this point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're going to go in and play with that nothing to lose attitude.
So JB, you can take us out whenever you want to. I gotta go play.
You gotta go.
You got anniversary.
You got things to do. So, like we always say, some people like football, baseball, and basketball, but here, all sports matter. We'll see y'all. Check us out Sunday. Don't forget. What is 10 a.m. Central Standard Time?
Scrolling across
11 Eastern. 11 Eastern
across the bottom.
10 Central. www.vibe95 station or the Parlay Period app. The literal period.
Check us out. We'll see y'all later.
Hello.
Peace.